мне представить вам Дину Берник. В оргкомитете Дина отвечает за создание программы, а сегодня будет вести этот вечер.
Мой соведущий Максим Дворов приложил руку к созданию сайта нашего Limmud, а также к большинству текстов в этой конференции.
Let me introduce to you Dina Bernikova. In the Limmud Organizing Committee, Dina is in charge of creating the program, but today she's going to present this evening. My co-presenter, Maxim Dvar, has also been involved in creating the website of our Limmud, as well as most text on the conference.
Мы приветствуем вас на гала-вечере первого Limmud FSU Europe. В прошлом году проект русскоязычный Limmud уже отметил свое десятилетие. Россия, Украина, Беларусь.
We're going to welcome you to the gala evening of the first Limmud FSU Europe. Last year, the Russian language Limmud project marked its 10th anniversary. Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, Moldova, the USA, Canada, Israel, Australia. It's such a big family. So now today we're joining this family. We are the first European Limmud FSU. And let us see how these 10 years passed, what happened in those 10 years.
XX век. Для еврейского народа он стал самым тяжелым.
God forbid we lost a whole generation or two generations of Russian Jews.
Создание государства Израиль и падение железного занавеса дали надежду евреям СССР.
המסה האדירה הזאת אף אחד לא טיפל. זה רצון להיות יהודי, רצון להתחבר אל השורשים.
Но казалось, что связь со своими корнями для них утеряна навсегда.
But openness begins at the borders. Mr. Gorbachev, let these people go.
Однако есть люди, которые не смогли с этим смириться.
I believe that Limmud FSU is the natural continuation of the first part of 25-year celebration of opening the doors.
Limmud — это диагноз.
Его никто не навязывает.
Limmud — это уникальный проект.
Это неформальное образование.
Для людей, которые хотят выразить себя.
Limmud — это потрясающая, интересная и захватывающая платформа.
Очень удобно, очень красиво.
4 поколения могут быть вместе.
Для людей, которые хотят выучить что-то новое.
Это часть жизни, это константа.
По-моему, это гениальная идея, гениальная, и она изумительно воплотилась. Ощущение потрясающее, когда приезжает 1000 человек и в разных аудиториях слушают всякую чушь, которую мы все болтаем.
Limmud, 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 baby, keep it going.
Что же такое наш Limmud? Как известно, наш народ очень любит цифры. Когда рассказываешь, что у тебя появился новый знакомый, все хотят знать, сколько он зарабатывает, сколько квартир у его отца, и даже сколько стоит яхта его тестя.
И после этого все понимают, что этот мальчик таки из хорошей семьи.
Мы тоже из хорошей семьи, поэтому мы не стыдимся наших цифр.
Наш Limmud собрал около 700 участников. Для вас его готовило более 100 волонтеров. Мы приняли гостей 27 стран мира и проведем 127 различных сессий. Мы даже думали подсчитать количество выпитых нами чашек кофе.
Но после того, как в баре отеля кончились кофейные зерна, мы отказались от этой затеи.
So what is our Limmud? We all know that our people really like numbers. When you tell someone you have a new friend, everyone wants to know how much he owns, how many flats his father has, and how much his father-in-law's yacht is worth. After that, everybody understands that the boy is already from a good Jewish family. Well, we are from a good Jewish family as well, so we are not ashamed of those numbers. So, our Limmud has got together about 700 participants. It has been prepared by over 100 volunteers We are receiving guests from 27 countries of the world. We are going to have held 127 different sessions. We really intended to even count the number of cups of coffee that we have drunk. However, after the bar of the hotel ran out of coffee grains, we decided it was not really a good idea.
Но давайте вернемся к серьезным темам. На этом Лимуде мы отмечаем столетний юбилей Декларации Бальфура. И мы хотели бы зачитать вам послание от внука лорда Бальфура, Роди Бальфура.
However, let us get back to the serious subjects. At this Limmud, we are marking the 100th anniversary of the Balfour Declaration. And we would like to read to you the address from Lord Balfour's grandson, Roddy Balfour.
Greetings to all at Limmud 2017. I'm only sorry I did not hear about this event earlier, although my travel plans for the next 10 days were fixed months ago. I'm very honored to hear, however, that an element of your symposium will be a commemoration of the centenary of the Balfour Declaration. My family are very proud of the importance to Jewish people everywhere of this initiative by the British government of the day. The relevance to you all here today is that the imperative for it stemmed from the appalling Russian pogroms at the turn of the 19th, 20th centuries. Thus, and this is what we're most proud of, the declaration was first and foremost a humanitarian act trying to repatriate a talented but much persecuted people to the land of the original Judaic roots. Much of the subsequent political turmoil in the region has been blamed on the declaration, but this would be oversimplistic. The borders imposed by Sykes-Picot were never going to be fit for purpose, and nobody in 1917 could have foreseen the Holocaust or the extraordinary high birth rate among the Palestinians in recent decades. How much more we could celebrate the centenary if saw a two-state solution emerge this year, which in effect brought closure on one of the central tenets of the declaration. I send you all best wishes for a very successful symposium. Roddy Balfour.
Мы приглашаем на сцену основателя Лиммуда FSU Хайма Чеслера, а также Малкома Хонлайна, человек, который сам Хайм Чеслер называет главным евреем Америки. Встречайте.
We would like to invite to the stage the founder of Limmud FSU, Chaim Chesler, and the person who Chaim Chesler calls the main Jew of America, Malcolm Hernline.
Мы вас приглашаем вручить награду имени лорда Бальфура.
And we are inviting them to award them the Lord Balfour Award.
Before we present this award to the chairman of the Board of Deputies, the number one Jew in Britain, Jonathan Oaklesh, I would like to tell you a surprise what we got. Unfortunately, the Israeli ambassador, Mark Regev, couldn't come because he's busy preparing the Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu visit to Britain tomorrow morning. So probably all night he will not be here, he will be in the office. But as we would always find solution in the most difficult moment, we have a friend of Limmud, which was in our Limmud in his previous capacity, and now he serves as the Israeli ambassador to UNESCO, Ambassador Carmel Shama Cohen, that will present together with us the prize to Mr. Jonathan Eckler. Mr. Ambassador, all the way from France. So, Mr. Jonathan Eckler, can you come please to the floor? Beautiful piece after 100 years. I hope we'll not have to wait another 100 years. Maybe the piece will come there. Photo. Once again, ready? Okay, thank you. And Mr. Michael Online, you speak on our behalf, and then we'll have a response from Mr. Akrosh. Malcolm Mona, please.
Shavua Tov to everyone. This is a special occasion when we commemorate 100 years since the Balfour Declaration. I hope that many of the younger people who don't remember it like we do, the original, will take the time to look into it, to understand its significance. The Balfour Declaration is not our deed to Israel. The Balfour Declaration was a reaffirmation of the deed received in Sefer Bereshit, in the book of Genesis. When God gave us this land, He gave it to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob for all of their generations to follow. This was a deed that no power on earth could break. Not the Nazis, not the communists, not the pharaohs, no one. The bond between the Jewish people and the land of Israel is an eternal bond promised to us by God and fulfilled throughout all the years. And thank God now we are back with Jerusalem united forever, and the Jewish people have their homeland as a place to which all Jews can go, whether persecuted or going out of what I hope is the motivation, and that is a very positive. We see today that there are still those who want to deny it. When the UNESCO can vote that Jerusalem has no connection to the Jewish people, when they removed the name of the Har HaBayit, the Temple Mount, the Kotel HaMaravi is now Abu Rak's wall, named for Muhammad's horse. The Har HaBayit is now called Haram al-Sharif. And every other sacred place, including Marat HaMachpelah, where Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov are buried, have taken away all of the Jewish names. They erased 3,800 years of Jewish history, 2,000 years of Christian history, because of the denial of Christianity as well. Because they understand better than us that if you take away our past, you take away our future. That if we deny all of where the Jewish people came from, all of our history, we see it today in the Holocaust denial, while still some of the survivors are alive. Because they want to deny us a future by denying our past. When we look back 100 years and see what Mr. Balfour did, it was a courageous act because he went against the prevailing mood of the time. Many presidents, going back to the founders of the United States, said there should be a Jewish state. It's time for the Hebrews to return to their homeland. It's time to rebuild Jerusalem. But none of them acted on it. Mr. Balfour, Lord Balfour, did. And so we look back in order to look forward. We look back to remember what he did in order to be inspired. That each of us in our own way has to decide what is it that we will do. It's very easy for each of us to tell what others should do. It's not so easy when we have to decide what is our obligation, what is our responsibility. We read in this coming week's Parsha about Kriyat Yamsuf, the splitting of the Red Sea. The splitting only took place when Nachshon made that leap of faith, when he stepped into the water, not knowing the outcome. God said, now it's ready for the miracle. Now the Jewish people are ready, because first we had to prove ourselves. We had to show that we were ready to put ourselves on the line. God has created so many miracles for this generation. We just don't prove ourselves worthy. We don't demonstrate that we appreciate them. How many of us really appreciate the fact that we have a free Jewish state that is a marvel to the world in high tech and all these other areas Lord Balfour couldn't have anticipated? Tell anybody that Israel is a small little country, they don't believe you. It's a great world power. So each of us has to learn that lesson. That when Nachshon set his foot in it, God said, I did all these miracles for you. He said, now it matters with you. You have to show by your own courage, your actions and your deeds. And each of us has to take that seriously. Each of you have to think about what is your relationship to the Jewish people, to the Jewish state, to the Jewish future, as it is to Jewish history. Jonathan Arkush is one such person who devotes his life to the unity of the Jewish people in England. He is a lawyer, also a barrister. I don't know what the difference is, but he's both. I think the lawyer is dishonest, the barrister is honest, so he has some connection between the two. And he has been for a long time. He has children, all of his children living in Israel, which demonstrates the real test of what he and his wife have done. You know, we say in the Jewish tradition that we don't judge people by their children, we judge by their grandchildren. Because that's when you see come to fruition the actions you take. You are who you are because of decisions your grandparents made. More importantly, your grandchildren, especially the young people here, your grandchildren will be who they will be because of the decisions you make, the actions you take. And Limmud gives you the opportunity to learn about all the issues and to define it. And then get involved in organizations like the Board of Deputies, which is our counterpart. And what we have in common is not only an agenda, and I spoke there yesterday, I saw how much of what they do and we do at the President's Conference is similar. But more importantly, it's the commitment to the one precondition to every miracle that happened to the Jewish people. And that was Achdut, Jewish unity. Bringing all Jews together from all the parts of Jewish belief, from all the organizations, to recognize that what we have in common is far greater than the differences. When we marched for Soviet Jews in America, in England, all over the world, people said to us, why did you do it? You don't speak the same language, you're not related to them, you will never see them. Because they don't understand what Achdut means, what Arevut, the sense of responsibility that we felt for Russian Jews, that we feel today for Jews in Israel and Jews who are persecuted everywhere. Where do you see Christians marching for the tens of thousands of Christians who are executed everywhere? Because they don't have that sense of Arevut. We, today, all of us, coming together in Limmud, from every part of the spectrum of Jewish life, demonstrate the importance of unity. Lord Balfour brought us together. The state of Israel unites us. Organizations like the Board of Deputies gives us a chance to translate it as we do here at Limmud. So Jonathan, on behalf of all of us, we want to thank you. This award, which we hope will sit proudly in your office, your barrister office, your lawyer office, your Board of Deputies office, whichever one you choose to put it, will be a reminder of the friendship, the support, and the sense of unity that we have.
Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I would like to welcome you to Great Britain. We are delighted that you have chosen as the venue for the first Limmud FSU Europe Conference our country, and we hope you have the most successful Limmud meeting here. I'm delighted to be part of it. Secondly, I'm very, very touched to receive this award. I had no idea that it was coming, and I'm privileged to receive it, particularly from the hands of Malcolm Hernlein, a colleague who I respect enormously for the remarkable job that he does in the United States of America, the world's largest Jewish community outside Israel, which matters so much to our people. I want just to say this. Rather like Malcolm, what brought me into organized Jewish life was when we were fighting a campaign, a genuine campaign, as we read in the Sedra this morning, Shalach et ami v'ya'avduni, let my people go that they may serve me. That was the rallying call that generated in me such a pride in being Jewish as a teenager, when Jewish people in the former Soviet Union were persecuted merely because they wanted to be Jewish, and some of them, many of them, wanted to emigrate. I could not have believed, as a teenager marching in London, or as a frequent visitor to Moscow and Leningrad, as it then was, until I was refused a visa because I became a little bit too much of a nuisance, apparently. I could not have imagined a situation whereby today a Jew can live in the former Soviet Union and go back and forth and emigrate to Israel. And it's a matter of enormous pride to all of us Jews that with the united determination of our will, we were able to play some role in the release of Jews from the former Soviet Union, and conferences like this are testament to the fact that our Jewish people find strength in working together for each other, and how appropriate it is that the great majority of those who left the former Soviet Union have found homes and jobs and families in Israel. And finally, let me say to you, I feel no greater pride than in being part of the Jewish people. I think we are enormously lucky that we have inherited an extraordinary set of cultural values, of religious values, of social togetherness, that we feel a part of something very much larger than ourselves. I hope that you will enjoy and gain so much strength and inspiration from the proceedings of this conference. I hope that when you leave the conference, you will feel even more strongly than you do already. Am Yisrael Chai, the Jewish people, lives and grows stronger, more determined, and please God, more united. Thank you.
Как мы уже говорили, наш Лиммуд из хорошей семьи. И мы с большим удовольствием приглашаем на сцену одного из родоначальников всей семьи Limmud FSU, президента Limmud FSU Аарона Френкеля.
As I have already said, our Limmud comes from a good family. So we are very happy to invite to the stage one of the founding fathers of the whole Limmud FSU family, the president of Limmud FSU, Aaron Frankel.
Good evening, everybody, participants, guests. Welcome to London Limmud. It's the first time that Limmud is doing this event in London, and I consider it as a big success. You see the energy in the corridors. You see people debating. Limmud means in Hebrew learning. The way of learning for Jews is to go deep to the issues, to agree, not agree, shakla v'tarya, to go and have all kinds of opinions, but to crystallize the ideas, to know more, to make things more clear to you, to yourself, to come closer to your roots, to be more convinced. We should debate. And really, I feel it's a great success. Thank you for everybody being here. I would like to talk about a friend, a person that I admire greatly. I know him for more than 27 years. It's the Rabbi Shlomo Dovber Pinchas Lazar. Everybody knows him as Rebbe Lazar. And it's a unique personality. I mean, we're going to award him today with Limmud Award for his great achievement, mainly in Russia. I remember the days when he just came. I think he even was after his marriage, but maybe no children yet. And I remember him in the back room of the Central Synagogue of Moscow, and yesterday he told that he asked where are the Jews. There was only very few elderly Jews in the synagogue, and he said, you can find them in the cemetery. And I didn't understand in the beginning, I didn't know what they mean. They mean basically no Jews, they're all buried. Or maybe they mean, don't look for them, or maybe they mean go there and wake them up, bring the Mashiach. But anyway, what Rabbi Lazar did in Russia is a gigantic work. He built a world of Judaism, a world of Chesed, more than 180 communities, synagogues, yeshivot. But the way he did it is really unique. With more panim, with positiveness, helping, listening to each one, to any problem where he can help, and sacrifice sometimes not only his time, but his risking for other people. And really, it's a gigantic wall what he built in the former Soviet Union and in Russia. And I must tell you that you must come and see the community in Marina Roša and understand what Rabbi Lazar built over there. So I would like to award them. I would like before to ask to show a small video before I invite him to the stage.
I think that Limmud FSU has been for us an incredible trigger to get a lot of people involved in Jewish life, Jewish activities, volunteers, and tons of people that are connected to our community come to Limmud, or a lot of people that came to our community came because of it. So it's